Conscious Being. I'm here with Ashley, who moved all the way from
Australia
to bring a lot of awakening into the men, especially in Dubai, because most of the women that are awakened in Dubai, but the men, they lack that. And I really appreciate that you bring some certain elements that will help the men to wake up as well. So how are you doing that?
So starting men's circles. So
Okay.
men's circles are one that I'll be starting next year. But also using techniques of breathwork, meditation, creating communities, allowing people to see someone who's come from a bodybuilding background with a certain image, to know that it's okay to explore a different side of yourself. I consider myself a gateway from where people are now knowing there's something more to their life than just following the rat race to the more spiritually awakened version of themselves. Now, the spiritually awakened version isn't religious. The spiritually awakened is someone who's more in touch with themselves and in touch with their spirit. And I want to be able to, or I am, helping people see that shift and be a part of that shift for them. So that's why I'm here.
So the normal question that I ask most of my guests is, what is your soul purpose or your mission that you see in life?
Yeah. So the mission I see in life, where I am, is I'm a mindset architect. I help people remove those limiting beliefs of who they are, change those paradigms that they've lived in for so long to become that new version of themselves. I see what's happening at the moment is there's a big shift happening in Dubai. It's everyone can come here and get caught into one way of the world, but if they're going to stay here, it's not sustainable for that, and it can be a very upsetting life, crowded by greed, lust, and everything else. I'm here to help people see that they can still live that beautiful life, but also a much more spiritually awakened version of that. I also want to change. I've shifted my life from where it was to now changing lives through personal training, being on stage, to now wanting to change lives through the power of words. I want to be speaking on stages around the world. I want to be holding seminars. I want to be building communities. I want people to see that they can be vulnerable and safe in a community without having to fear being judged. So that's
And for all of those that they judge directly, I'm sure I always judge you. When I saw your profile first, I see this guy in a monk costume showing his super huge biceps, like from stripper to monk. I was like, what is this guy up to? The first thing, another cool trick, how to get chicks in bed. But something wanted me to meet him, and after we spent for 2 hours and he shared me his life story, I realized that even your path was a healing path all this way. Even being a stripper is not what we think from the outside. It's what all the healers now, they bring that kind of activation of the body and help women to feel again what they didn't feel for a long time, that even can save their life. So it was part of the journey of being spiritual in a very well-made costume.
A very different perspective on what it is. So I used to look at stripping as a thing of changing lives through healing people's relationships. We would get messages from women that would come to the show, and they'd see that, or they'd message us and say that I actually have not slept with my husband in years. Coming to your show, I felt seen, I felt heard, I felt valued. That they went back and they were able to make love with their husband. They were able to rekindle their relationship because they felt like they had been seen by a man that was on stage, that was in the scenes that we were. So with that, allowed me to view it with a completely different light of not being the tacky stripper that people would think. When I first started, it was all ego, and which it will be. As a young man going into doing it, it is all ego. But I learned very quickly that you take the energy from those people when you're doing it, and from that, I started to shift and to see the change that I was actually making to relationships, and I was grateful for that. And it was a very big part of the shift in my journey.
Thank you for sharing. So for all of those, especially men, that you feel that you need a nest to be yourself, to feel accepted, to grow in many points, well, you know where to go.
Thank you,
so what's coming next? What are you organizing?
So I'm running a men's circle, or not a men's circle, sorry. I'm running a guided breathwork at Sunrise Beach every Saturday morning for a sunrise, usually at 7 a.m. Next year, we'll be doing a men's circle at Flow Space, which is there. I'm building my client base and my business here with helping people just create their new mindset and their new way of life, whilst also building my profile so I can speak on stages, so I can travel, so I can run retreats around the world. And we do have some retreats coming up next year with TribeX, which would be Bali, Zanzibar, and a few other places. So sinking myself into a load of different spaces, but in all areas that I know that I can make a difference.
Sounds amazing. Now, a lot of people, I guess, they got curious. What about the monk part? Maybe explain in a very quick sentence what all meant for you.
It's something I wanted to do for my entire life. I wanted to go to the source to learn meditation. I wanted to make sure if I'm going to learn something, I'm going to do this properly. I know myself, I can get distracted very easily. So by going there, I was able to remove everything, remove who I was, including my eyebrows. And actually meditate for 6 hours a day and learn from monks. And from that, it brought peace, it brought happiness, and it brought a new perspective of life. And I gained more years of my life from doing it. Incredible.
Do you recommend that to
100%. For men, yes. Women, they have something called I Retreat, where you can go and live like a monk, because nuns aren't a part of Theravada Buddhism anymore. But for men, 100%, go and do it. It'll change your life.
Thank you. Thank you for doing it for the community, and let's do this.
Thank you very much.